Here you have the results of the time-lapse poll. I got 65 answers. That's pretty good. So that means you cared about it, I guess, which is pretty good. The winner of the poll was the Russian Civil War, the historical one, between 1917 and 1923. And it got an average score of 4 out of 10. You can only rate between 1 and 5, but these scales go up to 10. So 10 means everyone gave a 5, which they didn't. But overall it got a 4, so it will definitely happen. So don't worry about that. In second place, with an average of 3, was France as powerful as Germany in World War II. Then surprisingly, in the end, at the third place, African Civil War, covering the entire continent. Both these will also happen. And then in fourth place, Russia against China in World War II, which will also happen. And then American Civil War with presidential candidates as against each other. Got a 3. All these did get 3s apparently, but as you can see they are different from each other. That will also happen because I got the time, and I will try to make most of these. And different people like different things, so you will all get something you like. And then at also 3, I thought that would be a 2 perhaps, but yeah, it seems to be close to 3 all of them. But Denmark against Sweden during the 30 Years' War in Hearts of Iron 3 most likely won't happen. I believe there wasn't enough of a want for it, so unfortunately it won't happen, and the priority will be on the other 5. They won't be coming out in this order. I'm saving the Russian Civil War for the last, so we get a grand finale of these time lapses. And I will begin with probably with France as powerful as Germany, then US presidential candidates, Russia against China, African Civil War, and finishing with the Russian Civil War. And well, I'm putting a deadline on this to the 1st of June, so I got 13 days doing all these 5, but that should be enough. You can always complain if I don't do it in time, but I will try to do it. Now, if you are checking by country and language, which you may remember also were questions, so if we take the US and apply, Americans, 24 of them answered like this. It was actually really equal, except Denmark, Sweden, which got a 2. But well, it was actually really balanced. slight better in the Russian Civil War, but for Americans you have these particular results. And if we check for Brits, which was the second most answers from 8, they apparently liked France a lot, then the Russian Civil War, following by 3, 4 and 5 equally, and the least wanting was American presidential candidates. And here we got the stats for that. And if we finally check Germany, which I believe was the third most results from 6, they apparently liked the Russian Civil War, African Civil War, Russia against China, Denmark, Sweden. Apparently they didn't like France as powerful as themselves, but who is surprised about that? Should see the French results about this. American Civil War with presidential candidates. Germans just don't care. That's fine. You really shouldn't. And well, we remove this and see all the results again. Here we got the stats for all poll takers, and then if we go down to what country or part of the world you come from, we got 24 Americans, 8 Brits, 6 Germans, 3 Canadians, 3 Dutch, 3 Swedes, 2 Polish, 2 Spaniards, 2 Australians, 2 Serbians, 2 rest of Eastern Europeans, and 2 East Asians, 1 Russian, 1 French, 1 Italian, 1 Brazilian, 1 Finnish, 1 Hungarian, and 1 Norwegian. No Turks, no Danish, no Czechs, no Romanians, no Austrians, no from the rest of Western Europe, like Belgium or Luxembourg, or Ireland for that matter, and no from the rest of Latin America and the Caribbean. We only got 1 Brazilian from that area. Disappointing, but what can you do? No Africans, no West Asians, and no from Oceania, except Australia. So we got no New Zealanders, no New Zealanders or Indonesians. That meant we got 36% Americans, 12% Brits, 9% Germans, and the rest were split up among the rest. Which languages do you speak? I thought these questions were interesting to ask, and then you can also check stats for each individual country and language if you want. So we have 36, 54% having English as their first language. 24, 36% has English as their second language. We got 9 speaking German, 9 speaking French as a second language, 4 speaking Spanish as their first language, 4 speaking Swedish, 4 speaking Serbian, Croatian or similar language, 3 speaking Dutch, 3 speaking other European languages, and 2 almost not speaking English at all. 1 Polish, or no, 2 Polish, 2 Russian, 2 Spanish as a second language, 2 French as a second language, 2 West Asian as what? As their first language, and 2 also speaking East Asian, an East Asian language as their first language. 1 Italian, 1 Turkish, 1 Portuguese, 1 Danish or Norwegian, probably Norwegian since we got someone from Norway, Finnish, Hungarian, East Asian as a second language, I believe, and Oceanian language, which as a joke I put where is it? There, Australian. And I'm not meaning Australian native languages, I meant Australian itself. Or well, Australian English. Just a joke. No Czechs, no Romanians, no other Slavic languages, no Arabic, no African, no Native American or Creole languages, unfortunately, and no West Asian as second language, I believe. Yes. So, thanks for taking the poll. Someone commented on the video asking for the results. Here you have them. I was planning to do this anyway, but here we go. Thanks for watching.